The National Wellness Initiative is launched in Bridgetown. It appears that a hike in bus fare is on the cards. And in sports, Tridents end their CPL campaign on a losing note.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Sophia Alsop Cambridge with this Saturday, September 8th edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, the city of Bridgetown was a hive of activity today as Health and Wellness Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic introduced the National Wellness Initiative to commemorate Caribbean Wellness Day 2018. The CBC's Shane Jones took in some of the morning activity.
The usual Saturday morning scene in the city was transformed to one of a massive outdoor gym. Broad Street was closed to vehicular traffic, and instead of cars, obstacle and fitness courses could be found. The general public have the opportunity to take part in many fitness activities, as well as gain knowledge on health and wellness from the various information booths set up. Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic says non-communicable diseases continue to be a threat to the socio-economic development of Barbados. He considers it a serious threat, especially as a large percentage of Barbadian children are obese. He says the new National Wellness Initiative is the first step to progress.
What we are seeking to do now is to harmonize the efforts of all of those NGOs to build on the platform that they have already established, and to collaborate with them and to make their efforts intertwine with what we are trying to do at the national level so that we have a national effort going forward. And so, heads of NGOs, the ministry will be meeting with you within the next week or two so that we can sit down and discuss the way forward in this joint venture.
Minister Bostic says the island's polyclinics will be used as wellness centers, which will include all aspects of wellness,
including spiritual and emotional wellness, including psychological wellness. And I'm pleased that the psychiatric hospital has already started a wellness program, and I congratulate them on that effort. And this is part of the cohesive approach that we are taking in terms of wellness in this country. And you may ask, why are we doing this? It is because, as our grandparents told us, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
The health minister says the initiative will cut across ministries and sectors.
We have to have a conversation with the Ministry of Education, because in our public schools, we have to look at what we are feeding our children. We have to and must have a conversation with Barvin and the vendors in public spaces and in the schools, because we have to get them to understand that we need to change what we are doing in terms of what we are providing as snacks to our children. We need to have a conversation with parents, because in spite of all that we do at the national level, if it does not make a difference within the households, within the homes, then we are wasting time.
Minister Bostic led the way by example, taking part in a road tennis game with St. John MP Charles Griffith. Shane Jones, CBC News.
Thanks so much, Shane. Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley is making it clear there will be no change in the present arrangement for senior citizens travelling on Transport Board buses. But she says while there will be a hike in fares for commuters, pensioners and police officers will continue to ride for free. The Prime Minister made the remarks yesterday during a joint press briefing with IMF officials at government headquarters.
For the pensioners, we definitely will not be changing that. Okay. For the school children, there are two schools of thought. We've not made a decision on it. There are those who say leave it, and there are those who say means test it and allow those who really need it to get it. Because of the scale of the depth of the problem at the Transport Board, I'm not prepared to commit to a position on the children without the evidence and without the relevant sides placing all of the data before us. But for the elderly persons, without doubt, and for the police, without doubt, there will be no change.
Celebratory news now, and even though she is 100 years old, Ivy Moore still maintains a close relationship with God. And in the midst of her birthday celebrations, which included a visit from Acting Governor General Kenneth Hewitt, she still continued to thank the Almighty for his ongoing blessings.
Praise the Lord, thank the Lord for life and how he has taken me through, and thank the Lord for my children and the health. The Lord be with them and take them throughout the days come and go, close them in the right mind, and bless them and provide for them spiritually and temporally, and keep me on the victory side in Jesus' name.
Well, over 20 young residents of St. Michael South Central now have a better understanding of organic and free-range farming techniques. They toured Peg Farm and Nature Reserve in St. Joseph along with their parliamentary representative, Marcia Cadell. At the end, they received back-to-school hampers as well. Ms. Cadell hopes the students have been inspired by the outing.
The reason that we wanted to bring them here is that secondary school is a new experience, and young people have to be willing to open their minds to new friends, new ideas, new concepts, new ways of doing things. We brought them to Peg Farms to see another side of life in Barbados, to get them used to the idea of the environment and environmentally friendly practices and farming practices, and just get them engaging with their natural environment.
And for the students, this morning's tour was a new experience.
It was perfect, and I let you check in. My chickens are coming out running behind us. It was great, but we look at the pig and it was excellent.
I like the information, I like about pace, and I don't like the chickens.
Well, Dominica's United Workers' Party candidate for the Soufriere constituency, Dr. Sam Christian, says it's time to shift the conversation about Ross University moving from Dominica to Barbados. He says while there is a sense of loss and remorse about what's happened, he believes it's now time to be thankful. Dr. Christian says he prefers to look at it from the perspective of Ross being a famous Dominican expert.
We feel that Ross University had to make business decisions. Whatever the causes were for the move, Ross University as a world citizen, a corporate citizen, could go anywhere in the world, and certainly in this hemisphere they could have gone to Costa Rica or to Panama. And from that extent, we are happy that Ross chose Barbados rather than somewhere else, because we have a lot of Dominicans in Barbados, and we're always very proud of the Barbadian people. We are sure that Ross will have a similar hospitality here in Barbados and will continue to flourish.
And he adds that while Dominica will now be losing 30% of the income it has enjoyed from Ross for the last 40 years, it's now time to move forward positively.
Now that we've experienced the bounty that Ross has given, we have to have a mindset that says, hey, we've got to develop a very business-friendly atmosphere. We've got to have, strengthen our work ethic and hospitality so that we can have investors that will come in and will boost the Dominican economy.